On the 15th of May, in the jungle of Nool, in the heat of the day, in the cool of the pool, he was splashing, enjoying the jungle's great joys, when Horton the elephant heard a small noise. So Horton stopped splashing. He looked toward the sound.
That's funny. There's no one around.
Then he heard it again, just a very faint yelp, as if some tiny person were yelling for help.
I'll help you, but who are you and where?
He looked and he looked. He could see nothing there, but a small speck of dust blowing past through the air.
I say, I've never heard tell of a small speck of dust that it was able to yell. So what do I think? Well, there must be a person on that small speck of dust. A creature at a very small size that cannot be seen by an elephant's eyes. Some poor person, trembling with fear, he'll fall in the pool. There's nowhere to steer. I'll just have to save him. After all, a person's a person, no matter how small.
'Twas a sour kangaroo, and the young kangaroo in her pouch said,
Why, that speck is the size of the head of a pen. A person on that why there never has been.
Believe me, I tell you sincerely. My ears are quite keen, and I heard him quite clearly. I know there's a person down there. And what's more, even 2, even 3, even 4. A family, quite likely, for all that we know. A family with children just starting to grow. So as a favor for me, don't disturb them. Just let them be. Ha! I think you're a fool!
Oh, yeah. Me too. You're the biggest brave at Jungle of Nool.
And the kangaroos plunged in the cool of the pool.
What terrible splashing! I can't let my small persons get drowned. I have to protect them. I'm bigger than they.
So he plucked up the clover and hustled away. Through the high jungle treetops the news quickly spread. He talks to a dust speck. He's out of his head. Just look at him walk with that speck on that flower. And Horton walked worrying almost an hour.
Should I put the speck down?
Horton thought with alarm.
If I do, these small persons may come to great harm. So I can't put it down, and I won't. After all, a person's a person, no matter how small.
Then Horton stopped walking. The speck voice was talking. The voice was so faint he could just barely hear it.
Speak up, please.
My friend, you're a very fine friend. You helped all us folks on this dust speck no end. You saved our houses, our ceilings, our floors. You saved our churches and grocery stores.
You mean you have buildings in there too?
Yes, we most certainly do. To you, they seem incredibly small, but to us, they're wonderfully tall. My town is called Whoville, for I'm a Who, and we Whos are grateful and thankful for you.
You're safe now. I won't let you down.
But just as he spoke to the mayor of the speck, 3 big jungle monkeys climbed up Horton's neck. The Wickersham brothers came shouting.
What a rot! Horton's talking to Whos who are not. There aren't any Whos, and they don't have a mayor. And we're going to stop all this nonsense. So there.
They snatched Horton's clover. They carried it off to a black-bottomed eagle named Vlad Vladikoff, a mighty strong eagle of very swift wing. And they said,
Will you kindly get rid of this thing?
And before the poor elephant could speak, the eagle flew off with the flower in his beak. All that late afternoon and far into the night, that black-bottomed bird flapped his wings in fast flight, while Horton chased after with groans over stones that tattered his toenails and battered his bones, and begged,
Please don't harm all my little folks, who have as much right to live as us bigger folks do.
Quit your yapping, and I'll fly the night through. I'm a bird, I don't mind it, and I'll hide this where you'll never find it.
Find it. 6:56 the next morning he did it. It sure was a terrible place that he hid it. He let that small clover drop somewhere inside of a great patch of clovers 100 miles wide.
Find that, but I think you will fail.
And he left with a flip of his black-bottomed tail.
I'll find it or bust. I must find my friends on that small speck of dust.
And clover by clover with care, picked up and searched them and called,
Are you there?
but clover by clover he found that one that he sought was just not around. And by noon poor old Horton, made more dead than alive, had picked, searched, and piled up 9,005. Then on through the afternoon, hour after hour, till he found at last on the 3,000,000th flower.
My friends, do tell me. Are you safe? Are you sound? Are you whole? Are you well?
From down on the speck came the voice of the mayor.
We really had trouble, much more than our share with that lost bottom bird you let go, and we dropped. We landed so hard that our clocks have all stopped, our teapots are broken, our rocking chairs smashed, and our bicycle tires are all blew up when we crashed. So Horton, please, will you stick by us who's while we're making repairs?
For almost 2 days you've run wild and insisted on chatting with persons who never existed. I'm here to say that your silly game is all through!
Me too!
With the help of the Wickersham brothers, whose help I've engaged, you're going to be roped and you're going to be caged. And as for that dust speck, that we shall boil in a hot steaming kettle of betel nut oil.
Boil it? Now that you can't do. It's full of persons. They'll prove it to you. Mr. Mayor,
Horton called.
Mr. Mayor, you need to prove that you're really there. So call a big meeting. Get every who out. Make every who shout. Make every who holler. Make every who scream. Or else every who will end up in bezelnut stew.
And down on the dust speck, the scared little mayor quick called a big meeting in Whoville Town Square. And his people cried loudly. They cried out in fear.
We are here! We are here! We are here! We are...
That was as clear as a bell. You kangaroos surely heard that quite well.
All I heard was the breeze and the faint sound through the far distant trees. I heard no small voice, and you didn't!
Me neither.
Grab him and cage him. Glass was stuck in 10 miles of rope. The night so tight they'll never shake. Dump, the dumb special net. Go!
Horton fought back with great vigor and vim, but the Wickersham gang was too many for him. They beat him, they mauled him, they started to haul him into his cage. But he managed to call to the mayor.
Don't give up. I believe in you all. A person's a person, no matter how small. And you very small persons will not have to die. So come on now and try.
The mayor grabbed a tom-tom. He started to smack it. And all over Whoville, they whooped up a racket. They rattled in kettles, they beat on brass pans, on garbage pail tops and old cranberry cans. They blew on bazookas and blasted great toots on clarinets, oompas and boompas, and flutes. Great gusts of loud racket rang high through the air. They rattled and shook the whole sky. And the mayor called up through the howling, mad hullabaloo.
Hey Horton, how's this? Is our sound coming through? Just fine. The kangaroo's ears aren't as strong as mine. They don't hear a thing. Are you sure you boys are doing your best? Are they all making noise? Is every who down Whoville working? Quick, look through your town. Is anyone shirking?
Through the town rushed the mayor, from east and to the west. But everyone seemed to be doing his best. Everyone seemed to be yapping and yipping. Everyone seemed to be beeping or bipping. But it wasn't enough, all this ruckus and roar. He had to find someone to help him make more. He raced through each building. He searched floor to floor. And just as he felt he was getting nowhere and almost about to give up in despair, he suddenly burst through a door, and that mayor discovered one shirker. Quite hidden away in the Fairfax Apartments, apartment 12J, a very small shirker named Jojo was standing, just standing and bouncing a yo-yo, not making a sound, not a yip, not a chirp, and the mayor rushed inside, and he grabbed the young twerp. And he climbed with the lad up the Eiffelberg Tower.
This is your town's darkest hour, the time for all who have blood that is red to come out of the age of their country. We've got to make noises that greater amount, so open your mouth wide, and for every voice counts.
Thus he spoke as he climbed. When they got to the top, the lad cleared his throat, and he shouted out,
Yop!
And that yop, that one small extra yop, put it over. And finally, at last, from that speck on that clover, their voices were heard. They rang out clear and clean, and the elephant smiled.
Do you see what I mean? There are persons, and their world was saved by the smallest of them all.
How true, yes, how true. You know what I'm planning to do? I'm going to protect them with you. Me too. From the sun with its summer to the rain with its fall, I'm going to protect them no matter how small.
Remember the day Horton heard a who? I'm Mrs. Who. She's Mrs. Who, she's Mrs. Who, she's Mrs. Who, she's Mrs. Who. We don't believe in you. I am Horton. The day I heard a who, I did not know what to do. But if you ask Miss Kangaroo, she will say, what the heck? A person's a person, no matter how small.
I'm Miss Kangaroo, and if you ask me about the zoo, I will say what the heck. The zoo does not make sense.
'Twas a sour kangaroo, 'twas a sour kangaroo, 'twas a sour kangaroo, 'twas a sour kangaroo. Horton makes sense to me and my family.
I'm Miss Kangaroo, and I think me and Baby Kangaroo should say sorry too. Achoo.
I guess my evidence makes sense.
Horton heard a who!
They snatched Horton's clothing.
What are you calling to get rid of this thing? Oh, sorry, my shoe.
Black-bottomed bird flapped its wings in first flight. It's not first flight, it's fast flight. I'm sorry. Right. That black-bottomed bird and his wing... Ugh, sorry.
Quit your yapping, I'll fly the night.
Yapping.
through.
For almost 2 days you've run wild, and I'm here to state that your silly game is all through.
You're close.
We are here! We are here! We are here! We are just fine, but the kangaroo's ears aren't as strong as mine. Line mix up!
I can hear you just fine.
Okay.
Me too, but I forgot the voice. I'm going to protect them no matter how small.
Through the high jungle treetops, the news spread quickly. Oh, but just as he spoke, the mayor of the speck... No. Ozzy. Monkeys climbed up Horton's neck. Let's try that again. But just as he spoke, Horton, to the speck, 3 jungle monkeys climbed up his big neck. Get down. Come here. 3 big jungle monkeys climbed up Horton's neck. Okay, we're going to just have you get. But just as he spoke, the mayor of the speck, 3 big jungle monkeys climbed up his big neck. Ozzy, can you climb up? It's okay, try it again.
I'm Batman.
Go.
Hup, hup, why the speck is the size of the head of a pen. A person on that wider never has been.
Good, now do your other line. one about.
Jump. We're done.
Good, do it again. Okay, do it again.
Oh, what that speck of little slides? Well, I don't know. So that whether the rubber is
Kangaroo down there. And even more, even three, even four. What? Three, even four. Kangaroos.
Nope.
And quite more, likely three, two. What? What is it? I know.
I'm doing great, Charles.
Down there. And quite likely two, and even three. No. How do I keep it up? Oh goodness.
That's a wrap.
Man, it's so hot. Thank goodness.